Today we are going to start first chapter, the living world. Children, what is living? How they differ from non-living things? We are studying from very lower classes, maybe from class 1, 2. And when we try to define living, we conventionally describe some distinctive characteristics. Those characteristics we describe in order to differentiate living organisms from non-living things. Like they move, grow, reproduce and respond to the stimuli. Now we can consider or we can add some more points or characteristics like metabolism, cellular grade of organization, etc. We will now discuss one by one all the characteristics, and we will also look at whether these characteristics that we are trying to describe living, whether they are defining or not. Let us first discuss the first characteristic, that living organism, they show growth. What is growth, children? Growth is increase in size, mass and number of cell. When the organism grow, the number of cell increase by means of cell division. Do non-living things grow? We can give example of mountain. What we see, children, they grow. But see, what is the difference between growth of a living organism and a non-living body? When we see a living organism grow, we find the growth is from within. That is, the protoplasmic material increases in amount, increases its amount. That is from the within of the body. But the moment we see the growth of mountain, like sedimentary rocks, the sediments pile one after another and the size of or height of mountain increases. But this kind of growth is from outside. The material accumulate on the surface of the mountain and they grow. This is not regulated by the mountain itself, but the growth of the living organism is regulatory. Now, what we can see, children, growth is not a defining characteristic. Now, we will look at the second point, reproduction. We know living organisms reproduce. But what about some infertile human being? They cannot produce their progeny. We can also consider mule as an example, cannot reproduce. So we can say reproduction is not a defining property of a living body. Now we will look at third point, response to the stimuli. Non-living thing, they do not respond to the stimuli. Living organism respond. They show response. What happens, children, if we take an example of a person who is in coma? They do not show any response or they are not aware if a doctor visit to the person or other person visit. But the person is in coma, respond to the drugs given to the person. That means it is showing response to those chemicals that are given to that person. So it is a defining property. We will now discuss metabolism. Metabolism is a chemical reactions taking place inside the living body. Children, chemical reactions can be conducted in the lab also, but they are not considered as metabolism. So we can say metabolism is a defining property of living. Let us discuss about the cellular organization, whether it is a defining property or not. If we look at a non-living thing, we will not find cellular organization. We can only see the cellular organization in a living body. So, cellular organization also is a defining property. Now, whatever I discussed, children, growth, reproduction, response to the stimuli, metabolism and the cellular organization, we can see out of this 5 characters, 3 characters like response to the stimuli, metabolism and cellular organization. They are the defining character of a living organism. Based on that, what we can say, a living organism possesses cellular grade of organization, show metabolism and respond to the stimuli. So, we started the class with a question, what is living? And end of the class, we got the answer, what is living? Today up to here, children. Next class, we will discuss more.